this session of six-figure meetings, it's going to be an introduction how the whole strategy works. We're going to do a little whiteboard session. Dave's off to the right here of me, and we're just going to go through the timeline and the strategy. So the key thing about this LinkedIn strategy is leveraging off mutual connections. It's using specially designed scripts, and it's time. And it's the time that really works. So for every 100 people that you reach out to on LinkedIn, at the very start, you're going to get about 35 people connecting with you. We've got 100, 35 connections. Now, we only connect with people that we have second degree connections with, and we leverage off the relationship that our target has with this person. The more connections that we have in common, the more likely it's going to work. The higher level connections we have in common, again, the greater success rate. So at the very start, I found that 35% of people that I connected with on LinkedIn who I didn't actually know would connect back with me. That rate increases throughout time as you get better and better at the strategy. But since we're all beginners, we're going to start at a low base rate of 35. So as I said, especially crafted script. We have a script here, leveraging off second degree connections. As soon as our target connects with us, this is where we differentiate ourselves from everyone else that tries to connect with someone on LinkedIn. We actually send them a thank you note. Thank you note. Now this thank you note would say something like, "Hi Dave, thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I just wanted to send you a little note saying thanks and look forward to networking with you in the future." No one does this. This is why it works so well. About 3 to 5% of people right here will straight away go, whoa, what's going on here? This is different, and they'll look at your profile. And as we know about sales, it's all about timing. If you have a product or service that's hitting a pain point with the target right, then they will actually connect with you straight away. They'll be the ones that reach out. And I've found it's 3 to 5% of the 100, which is 10% of the 35, will say, "Hey Nick, hey Dave, just read your profile. You're just exactly what we need right now. Let's set up a meeting." So that's cool. After we send the thank you note, it's time to use social selling strategies, which take about, it's about a 2-month timeline. "60 days. We do not communicate with the target in the 60 days. What we do is we push really good content out on LinkedIn. We connect with them on Twitter. We follow with them on Twitter. We might send a strategic retweet or a favorite when appropriate, but basically we leave the person alone. And the way the LinkedIn algorithm works is when you make a new connection with someone, your content is pushed up to the very top, so they'll start seeing your feed. So what you can do is you can log into Buffer, the Buffer app or a Hootsuite or something, and just have all your pieces of content queued in there, including blogs, and they will just start popping up. And it's really high level stuff, and it shows whatever industry you're in, it's very specific, and the person goes, right, this person knows what they're talking about, and you start building a bit of credibility with yourself. So 60 days, get into to Buffer, follow on Twitter, and you might do the odd strategic favorite or retweet. Now, to follow people on Twitter, the cool thing is, we'll go through this later, you can export your CSV file from LinkedIn, whack it into Gmail or Outlook, and then merge it into Twitter, and it'll immediately sync to see which of your LinkedIn connections are also on Twitter. So works really well. Once the 60 days are up, now we can go and request a meeting.
So why do you wait 60 days?
So there's 2 reasons for 60 days. The main reason is that the LinkedIn algorithm will push your content up in those 60 days. And it's about the time that it takes to build trust and credibility with your target.
Because I think what most people do is they connect and then they start chatting immediately.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it's really spammy. Yeah, they go straight away, they'll connect. Oh, yes, I've got an opportunity. This person obviously wants to talk to me. Bang, bang, bang.
Let's meet.
Yeah, doesn't work. And some people won't even say, let's meet. It's, I've got something to sell to this person. So yeah, 60 days, what we find is the key time. Once that 60 days are up, it's time to send out a meeting request. And what we do here, we don't sell to them at all. We say, I'm a person that knows a lot about this industry. You'll read their LinkedIn profile and you'll find that they know a lot about this industry too. And it's two high-level people connecting with each other, sharing experiences about the industry over a cup of coffee, really low-key. We're not talking about selling whatsoever. And in that script, which we'll go through later, exactly how the script works, you're leveraging off what you know that's going on in the industry. You mention that you've read their profile and they're doing some cool stuff too. You'll name drop a bunch of brands and then you'll ask for a meeting request, and you structure it in a way that you've almost got a secret to tell. You're doing something very special in your industry and you want to connect and share it, and hopefully they've got some information to pass back to you. We're not selling to them at this point. This happens after around 60 days. Meeting request 1. Meeting request 1. I have trialed this well over 1,000 times, and in my experience, 25% will accept your meeting request on meeting request 1. Then we wait another week to 2 weeks, depending on the time of year. If it's Christmas time, you'd probably wait a bit longer. 1 to 2 weeks. Meeting request number 2, and interestingly enough, the percentages are about the same. Another 25% will get back to you and accept the meeting.
So is that if the first person didn't accept the meeting,
Yeah,
then
so,
you send it again?
Yeah, so out of to everyone that's connected, 25% will respond. If they don't connect, we've got 75% left. It's actually about 35%. I'm talking about 25% of the base rate. So we'll get about, out of every 100, we'll probably get about 8 meetings here, and then we'll get about another 8 meetings over there. And the reasons why they haven't accepted the meeting request the first time around is some people are tardy with checking their LinkedIn inbox. Some people have lost their job and you're just completely irrelevant to them right at that point in time, or they're absolutely swamped with what's going on. They just don't have time and they don't see, again, relevance to what we're doing. So this timeline, 100 meeting requests to start off with, it gets better over time, especially as you build your profile. You'll get 35 connections, and then out of those 35 connections, you'll get 16 meetings in a 60 to 90 day timeline. And yeah, it works really well.